Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Don't ask me to talk.
And welcome to another hot edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm Eric Ryder, one of your podcast pals.
Hey, and I'm the other podcast pal. I am Stacey Heller, and I am excited to be back. It's been a week.
Absolutely. And you are still doing the show remote from our home base here at the Don't Ask Me to Talk Towers. You are in the southern office on assignment.
Yes, I am. Oh, this just in. It's sunny and warm again.
All right.
Yes, I am. I am still in Sedona, which is lovely. And I've been enjoying myself, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. Just a reminder.
Whereas up here, by the way, we've had a little bit of everything this week.
Oh?
I mean, no snow, thankfully. I think we've turned the corner on that. But we've had some warm temperatures. We've had some wind. We've had some rain. A little bit of everything. But it seems like we're getting closer, feeling the spring in the air.
Yeah, we're starting March. I can't believe it. It's my birthday month.
Gotta have a whole month.
Well, I mean, come on. Have you met me? And it's the Ides of March. And there's also that expression that March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
So March is a busy time for spring. It's good. I like it.
It is, yeah. Part of it's not even in spring. But that's just how busy it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's all that St. Patrick's Day celebrating that needs to be done. I mean, March is just packed full. I mean, everybody's going to be celebrating my birthday for the whole month. By the way, if you want to send me birthday wishes, you can do that by emailing us at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Yeah, that would be so nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
And what day in particular are people shooting to get these messages to you to celebrate?
By March 13th.
Okay. Your actual birthday day.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'll take them anytime.
Sure.
And you can also...
Hey, I'll take some too. My birthday's in November, but hey, if you want to wish me a happy birthday now, get a jump start on it, I'm all for it. Thank you.
Hey, you didn't think to ask. You have to, I'm learning in Sedona that you have to manifest what you want. So
that's why I'm asking now.
Okay. Well, you know what? But March is about me.
Okay. We can't share a whole month.
Well, I mean, we could, I suppose. But hey, you could also text or call and leave a voicemail, maybe saying happy birthday. The number to do that is 475-999-2726. If I said it too fast, don't fast forward through the ads, and we've got it there too.
How about we put it in the show notes?
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you
then
want
it's an easy reference
birthday.
for folks.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah. So what's going on with you?
I've been on the exciting journey of potentially buying a new car.
Oh.
And this last week, one of our cars decided to throw up some big, scary alerts, check engine kind of alerts kind of thing that made me go, okay, I'm so tired. I don't want to deal with this. I've been looking to get a new car, so I'm just going to go trade this in and get the new car. Well, as it turns out, when they see the dealer sees those airs up, they say, "Yeah, we're not giving you anything for this car," which makes buying the new car less enticing.
Right.
So I've been through that, and then also dealers. Some dealers want to budge on price, and some dealers don't, and when they don't, that's also less enticing.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
What kind of car are you thinking about? Not that we, hey, we're not sponsored, but I'm just curious.
But yeah, I've had good luck with the Chevy EV line, and so I am looking to upgrade to the Equinox EV that came out last year, and
Okay.
I'm pretty excited about that, but. And the price is right for the most part, but I've got a certain limit that I want to hold to as far as how much I'm going to pay, and the problem is that there's all kinds of different trims that either pushes the price above or is even lower, but doesn't have quite the little luxuries that I've gotten used to, like heated seats, for instance. I feel like I really want those now.
Really?
Yeah, whereas
You're so bougie.
I guess so. But I mean, with an EV, having heated seats makes a big difference in how much you use the heater, and using the heater can use up some of your range. So having the heated seats uses a lot less range. So it's a good investment as well as a nice comfort to have.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, so the ones that have the trim that I want, which is just a few of the bougie features and not a ton of the bougie features, are fairly hard to get because I'm not the only one that wants that, apparently. So this one dealer that I went to had that, and they wanted to charge a premium because there's less of those on the market. And I did not want to pay a premium.
No, of course not.
Because
that's ridiculous.
All the other dealers are not charging a premium on the other trims. So I tried to make this case, but they were kind of snotty about it. So I said, bye. So I took my car that I was going to trade in to the shop to get those things fixed. And so they're ordering parts, and so basically I'm waiting for them to finish the repairs, $2,000, and a week later, and it'll be back to normal, so that the when I go to trade it in, they're not going to be like, no, we can't give you anything for this. They said $300, by the way, which not cool.
What? That's rude.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the meantime, I had that same dealer that said no, they won't budge on the price, like texting me and going, hey, is there anything else we can do to sell you on this, on the Equinox? And I'm like, yeah, you could give me the price for, the MSRP like I asked for. And they're like, oh, well, if we did that, would we have a deal today? I'm like, yeah, we would if my trade-in wasn't in the shop, thanks to you guys.
Right. So
yeah.
Now I want the $2,000 that I spent on the repairs.
Exactly. And as I'm getting ready to message them back this, they're like, hey, if you found one of these at MSRP at other dealers, why haven't you gone with that? And
oh my gosh, you're getting like bullying.
Yeah, exactly. So what I did not respond was, I will. Thanks. Bye. But that's exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah, but now I am on the lookout to try and find one at a different dealer that doesn't have so much sass.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Once upon a time, it seemed like customer service was all about helping the customer and being, friendly to customers. I swear we've turned a corner since COVID where customer service is like, they just can't even.
Yeah, that's
Don't want to deal with people.
I mean, I feel like car dealers, people that like salespeople it's like they're piranhas. Like
Yeah.
somebody like walks into the room and everybody's like, "Rah." So the fact that they're being so sassy.
Well, it just reminds me how, like, you may not know this because you've been married for a long time, but at one point there was like this whole kind of movement where guys were like talking about how to like pick up ladies, and there was this guy called the Pickup Artist, and he had a TV show and everything. And one of his main things, one of his main tips was to say something negative to the woman and then build her back up. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
which I always thought was stupid, but I'm sure some women this worked on. But it seems like this has gotten into customer service where they're like, if I neg the customer, then maybe I can, get them to respect me or something. Which I just think, just treat people with respect.
Right.
And that's going to go a lot further than negging them.
Well, yeah. Like, do you want to sell the car or not? It's very simple.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's exciting though.
Right?
I love buying a new car, and my number one requirement is decent cup holders.
Now I'm curious, what is your idea of a decent cup holder?
Well, there has to be not just the ones that are in the center console area,
Mhm.
but ideally there's a spot in the door so that, if you've got your second bev, like your water bottle or whatever it is, there's one there. And then in the back, if I'm sitting in the back and there's the armrest that comes down, then again, there's a cup holder there. Like they need to be all over the car.
Because you got a lot of liquid.
I got a lot of liquid. Yes, that's what it is.
All right.
I don't really use the seat heaters very often, but
But if
you
you
make
had
it-
them, you certainly would.
well, I have them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have them, and I don't use them.
But you're
terribly often.
you're famously
Hot.
too hot. Yeah.
I am.
It's-
I am way too hot.
Right.
Um,
When they have the
Yeah.
cooling seats, which they are making now, that might be a good choice for you in your next vehicle.
maybe, but
Yeah.
you make a good argument for like now I understand why, and with the EVs and everything, and
It feels
you
so
know.
nice when you're like you've had a long day and your back's kind of going because anybody over the age of 40 knows exactly what I'm talking about. You
Yep.
get like your back just, even if you're not doing heavy lifting during the day, you just and then those heated seats kind of just warm things up and you feel more a little bit of relief here as you're headed home.
I will say, like, throw in a massage chair.
Well, that might be difficult while you're driving.
I don't know. I get like, can you imagine though? Like, there's like those the machines that sort of roll up the back, and you get a knot. And you're like, oh,
As long as they disable it while you're driving, that's all I'm saying.
yeah, that's true. Actually, the folks whose home I'm staying at, they have one of those massage chairs, and I'm like, okay, interesting. And it's like the back and the legs.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I got into this one, like they've got these little trials. Like if you know how to use the chair, I'm sure you can set it up and it's amazing. I, of course, don't. So I'm just button mashing. And I end up, and this thing is
You're
like
stuck in there for like 3 hours
Yes.
as it goes through every cycle because you
It
pressed
was-
every button.
Yes, it was a 15-minute cycle, and I had to hit stop because it was gripping my legs, like my ankles, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible." So,
But did you
I
come out of it feeling good?
No, I was totally
okay.
stressed that I was like being held captive by a chair. I haven't been back in it since.
You might have to pull up the manual.
Yes, I gotta find it. Well, my week, I have an update on Vera the dog. So last week, I talked about how I am staying at a friend's house while they're off skiing, and I'm here because their dog Vera, who I learned is a rat terrier, which
Terrible
like,
name for a breed, I think.
such a terrible name.
Right?
I guess
Terrier
it's-
already sounds like, oh, this is some brutal little murder dog, and then rat terrier. It's like
Right. It's just
it's even worse.
It's awful. I'm like, really? That's what we're gonna call the poor dog? And the dog, we're getting along actually really well. Oh, and by the way, I guess a rat terrier is related to a Jack Russell terrier.
Okay. Which
So-
is a lot more flattering of a name.
Right. Like, really? Rat terrier? Anyway. So we've had a huge breakthrough. So when I first started
It's
staying,
a cockroach-a-doodle. I'm just thinking of what would be a worse breed name. Sorry. Go ahead.
okay, who's got ADHD now? So the first few nights, Vera is an elderly dog and likes to sleep with mom and dad. I'm not staying in their room, I'm staying in their guest room. And so Vera would jump up on the bed, make a little nest, go to sleep, then in the morning be like, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. So we had a routine. Then Vera found out that I was willing to help her get up on the bed. And so we would play Super Dog. So at night, she'd be like, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm like, me too. Let's go. We'd go up, and then I would make her fly onto the bed like Super Dog, and we would have some snuggles. Well, big breakthrough. Last night, we did the routine. We had our snuggles. And then about 10 minutes later, she jumped off the bed and she came and she was pawing at my bed. And she was like, can I sit with you? And so I brought her up onto the bed, and that's it. Vera slept with me all night.
Oh, she's a little snuggler.
I was like, oh, this is so fun. Oh my gosh. I mean, my cat sleeps with me, but my cat like punches me in the face and is a total jerk. But Vera slept longer. Vera slept
Cat's probably
until
making
7:30.
biscuits.
Well, on my face.
Yeah. There's a lot of dough.
Nice, thanks.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means, but it sounded funny. Sorry.
So you think that's gonna be the thing that brings me down? Yeah, so that is exciting news. Okay, also my update on Sedona.
Did you
I
get
found
sucked
my
into
ice-
a vortex yet?
No, but I found one, and it happened to be at a store, which seemed suspect to me.
Uh-huh.
I went to this like gift shop, and it was like voted best vortex in Sedona, and I was like, "Come on, are you kidding me? There's no way." So I don't know. I don't know who was there first, the gift shop or the vortex, but and you would think if it was truly a vortex, then they would have had like more going on. They did have like a bunch of seats around it, but I'm like, do you just sit around? I don't know. I was very confused.
So
I need to do more
this
research.
totally reminds me of how like towns can be like one industry town. So it sounds like Sedona is about spiritual healing and growth. So every store is going to have their own
Yes.
vortex, just like Reno is a gambling town. So
Yes.
even the grocery stores have slot machines in them.
Yes.
even the grocery stores have vortexes in them
Yeah.
in Sedona.
Pretty much. And, like, hey, look, I bought some crystals. I bought a silver bracelet with some healing crystals on it. It's quite lovely. Yeah, I bought a pendulum, whatever. There's a sucker board every minute. But I also found an ice cream place, and it has vanilla banana pudding ice cream, and it's with Nilla wafers.
That sounds good.
Okay, that is a vortex that I am willing to go into.
Get sucked into.
Oh my gosh. And then
Meanwhile, I've been having chocolate hazelnut ice cream this last week, and man
Oh.
alive, that's so good.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Hazelnut-
like Nutella, but in ice cream form.
Oh. Now, I know you're going to be shocked to learn that I don't like hazelnuts.
Oh, okay. We'll just add that to the list.
Yeah, for those of you playing along at home. All right, my
Not
last
even
thing
with
about-
chocolate. So you don't like Nutella? Wow.
Yep.
I've never heard of anybody not liking Nutella.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
You're a one of a
folks.
kind.
I am a one of a kind. Thank you for noticing.
Total one-off. They broke the mold.
Yes, they did. Okay, my other update is I made my first vision board. Have you ever made a vision board? I'm sure this is something that you do regularly.
I've made a to-do list. Does that count?
Well, it's sort of like that.
I mean, it really is. These are goals.
Exactly.
And then as I achieve them, I cross them out. So,
okay. It was, first of all, I've been on this retreat and I don't want to poo-poo it and I'm not going to get into it, but it's been really great and it's been powerful and all of that. And I also am practical enough that I arrive at, my last day of the retreat and the gal's like, we're going to envision your magical future self and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I'm expecting like something. And she's got magazines. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I created a vision board, which honestly, I've never done it before. I can say I've done it. It was interesting. It was crafting. But like my inner child came out and like a teacher, she wanted to like ask me questions and, have you thought about this? And like my elementary school self, I'm like, what talking? I just want to make my vision board and I'm crafting. And at one point I looked up at her because it got quiet and she's watching me. And I realized that I look like I'm a mad scientist creating this vision board. Well, you can put me in select vision boarding because she's like, can I take a picture of this? This is so good. So I have envisioned my magical future. And then, contrary to popular belief, her suggestion is not to put it up somewhere. Instead, her thing is you need to get rid of it so that it's up to the universe and it's not up on your wall where you can focus on what you don't have. Instead, it's out in the universe so that you can get what you want.
Okay.
Anyway, it was quite the crafting project. I'll have to share a picture of it with you, Eric, and you can see my unbelievable vision board.
Before you burn it.
Before I burn, yeah.
Right.
Burn after seeing.
Yeah. For your eyes only kind of thing. And then there goes my vision.
Well, and it was funny because at the end, she's like, I normally say to get rid of it, but this is really a piece of art. You should consider hanging it up after all. And I was like, but you said I shouldn't.
Right. Maybe there's a future and bespoke vision board crafting for you, for your Etsy store. People just write in the stuff that they're trying to manifest, and then you create a bespoke vision board. And then they can hang this on their wall. And then even if they don't achieve those dreams or goals, they've got something nice to look at.
You are a genius. And it is perfect because it happens to be International Ideas Month.
Hey,
and
there's an idea.
I am. You know how I am. Should we take a break here and then we could talk about some more ideas? Because we're idea people, Eric.
That's right. Yeah. This podcast could be called Ideas.
I mean, that's not one of your better ideas.
Maybe not. Stay tuned to Don't Ask Me to Think of Ideas. No. I'll come up with something over the break.
Yeah, let's do it. Don't ask me to talk about ideas.
Right.
No, that's not good either. All right.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We'll figure this out. This is Eric Ryder reminding you to follow us on Facebook. We're at Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we're on Instagram, again, at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We'd love to hear from you, so check us out on social media and leave us a comment. Leave us a like. Remember, you can always email us directly at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. www.wildfirewatch.com or leave us a voicemail or text at 475-999-2726. That's 475-999-2726. And we're back right here on the Idea Factory. I'm one of your Imagineers, Eric Ryder.
And I'm the other one, Stacy Heller. I think the Idea Factory is great because you know what? You can like churn and burn, baby. Get them out there.
That's right.
You know, sort of like my...
Of course, we subcontract to China for our ideas.
and sell through Temu.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, like my idea, like the basins for wildfires.
Yes. Yep. They could have used those in LA this last weekend because, you know, they had those huge wildfires, but now they're getting hit by a lot of rain. And so without the plant life and stuff that all got burnt up, it's just like running through like rivers of sludge. So if they had some big something to catch that rain, I think could have potentially been helpful in this case.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, listener, you probably don't know this, but this has been an ongoing conversation that Eric and I have been having. And I'm like, hey, you know what they need to do? They need to put in areas that are frequently bothered by wildfires, these big basins that can collect rain and snow. And so whatever rain and snow would have fallen in that area, it's going to go in there. And you find a way that if it's deep enough, then helicopters can put their buckets in it, or you can release a hydraulic thing and it wets the land. It'll be great. Eric has not been convinced.
I will just say that I thought that maybe there was some reasons that this wouldn't necessarily be, you know, the best course of action. Like, for instance, that the plants need that rain the rest of the time. But on a rare occasion where there's nothing to absorb the rain and you've got rivers of sludge running through, this would be the time to take the lid off those.
Anyway, whatever. The Idea Factory.
We're just about ideas. We're not about necessarily instituting those ideas.
No, are you kidding? I mean, honestly, I think
or doing the research on whether these are good or bad ideas. We're just throwing them out there.
Yeah, I mean, I want 40%. That's all. I have a lot of ideas. You know what I think is a really bad idea, though?
What's that?
Celery month.
Yeah, do we need a whole month for that?
It's crunchy water. Why don't you just call it Crunchy Water Month?
Is celery one of those that's on the list of stuff you detest?
Yes, it's gross.
Okay.
It's stringy, crunchy water.
Yeah, but it's so good with some peanut butter and some raisins on top. But we already know you don't like raisins. So,
I like peanut butter.
But okay, so have you had celery with peanut butter on it?
Yeah, as a kid, ants on a log.
But that's a great combo, right?
It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh. Heartily disagree.
And celery ruins like tuna salad or chicken salad. Any of those.
So disagree. Adds this nice crunch, a nice little extra bit of flavor.
You could do that with cucumber. Cucumber's a good addition.
Says tuna?
Well, it adds the crunch, and it's like there's no real flavor. It's subtle.
Tuna and cucumber. No.
Have you tried it? Do you know?
I have, yeah. It's okay. I mean, if you have some slices of cucumber on a sandwich, but mixing it in with the tuna the way you would with celery, I'm not on board for that.
Well, all right. We're going to have to go back to the idea board again.
Well, I tell you what I am on board for. It's trying to wipe out my cultural blind spots.
Yeah, okay. So what work have you done on that this week?
Well, I'll tell you. I watched a couple of movies that I know folks out there are going to be like, what? I can't believe you haven't seen this before. Can you guess what they were?
Was one a children's movie?
No, I'll tell you, they were in the same. One was the first one, and the other one was the sequel to that, the first movie.
Oh, Speed 1 and 2.
No.
Okay, what?
I watched the Terminator, and I watched Terminator 2, which is T2 Judgment Day.
I haven't seen those either.
See? Clearly big cultural blind spots for both of us.
Yes. So how was it? I mean, the fact that you actually followed up 1 with 2.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, I watched the Terminator and I thought, this is all right. But all the research that I've done on this implies that Terminator 2 was really the one to watch. But I didn't want to watch 2 without seeing 1. I felt I would have been unmoored. I need the context. Yeah, I'm that kind of guy. I like context.
Yeah, okay.
I think the reason why I'd never seen them before is I've never really been a Schwarzenegger fan. I've only seen one other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Can you guess what it was? Twins. That's right.
I've seen Twins too.
I saw that in the theater and it was pretty good.
I watched the movie. Wasn't it him that did a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis where he played a spy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
but that was cute. But otherwise, I
Never seen
agree. Most of his movies, not my thing.
Right. So I happened to stumble across the Terminator, and I decided to go ahead and watch it. And you know what? It's really interesting because this is 1985. And it's amazingly low budget. I had always assumed it was this giant blockbuster movie, which was another reason why I'd kind of ignored it. But the first one is really kind of low budget, and there's some really funny kind of special effects that don't really hold up. And it's there's some like stop motion stuff that really is kind of reminiscent of Clash of the Titans kind of stuff, like the old Clash of the Titans, you know, Ray Harryhausen stop motion stuff. And I found that stuff to be kind of endearing to it, actually. But apparently it was made for like $6 million or something, really. Like even back then, that was like really cheap. Especially for a sci-fi movie. I don't know if you know the basic story of it, but it's basically in the future, machines have taken over. They're doing a war on humanity. Basically, ChatGPT gets really pissed off.
So like 2030.
2029, you are so close. Yeah. So we are like 4 years out from this thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Good to know. So we need to know.
We need some safeguards on AI stat.
Okay. Good to know.
Because this future is horrific. So apparently there's a leader of the resistance named John Connor, and the machine, the Skynet, the artificial intelligence, so hell-bent on wiping us lousy humans out that even though they're already doing a great job of killing all the humans, they come up with a time machine and send a Terminator back to 1985 to kill the mother of the resistance leader before she's able to have the kid, the resistance leader, John Connor.
Wow.
Yeah, which seems like you really go to all that trouble. You're already winning this thing.
Right. Like, come on.
So that Terminator is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I didn't realize that he was like the bad guy in this first movie. So he's just like an unstoppable killing machine, basically. And he's going around killing anybody with the name Sarah Connor. And he's using the phone book to find the Sarah Connors.
Oh my gosh.
Which made me go like, wow. Yeah, there was a time where people would put their full name and address in the phone book for anybody. So we've
got that going for us.
What, that we don't have phone books anymore?
Yeah. So inevitably when AI and robots take over, we don't have a phone book.
Yeah, it'll be harder to find us to exterminate us.
Yeah. So, okay, go on though.
Yeah, so he's going around killing people, but at the same time, the human resistance sent back a dude to protect Sarah Connor. So, but both of them arrive naked to the present day, 1985. And apparently it's like something about how you can't take anything with you through the time machine. So the movie starts with us seeing Schwarzenegger's butt.
Oh my God.
Which I was not prepared for.
Tons of steel, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, they literally. Because inside he's got like a titanium skeleton. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. So, anyway, I'll not have the spoilers in there in case anybody wants to watch this. But it was fairly enjoyable. But at the same time, I just kind of felt like, man, I really want to watch RoboCop now because it's a similar idea of like a cyborg. It's, violent. But the thing with RoboCop is there's a whole lot more humor in it.
Yeah. See, humor makes it like more, I don't know, palatable and like self-aware of the ridiculousness.
Yeah, yeah. And, I was surprised by the things that we kept from this movie. Like the catchphrases that everybody thinks of when they think of the Terminator are one, come with me if you want to live, which in the first movie, Arnold doesn't say that because he's killing everybody.
Right.
But it's the other guy that came back. And his other thing is, I'll be back. But his I'll be back, I always assumed like, right before they kill him, they say, I'll be back. So he's, because he's coming back clearly in Terminator 2, right?
Right, yeah.
But no, it's really because the guy's saying, no, you got to, it's got to be a minute. You're going to have to go take a seat and wait, and then I'll call you when we're ready for you, basically.
No way.
He's at the police station, right? And they're like, yeah, it's going to be a few minutes. Have a seat. And he goes, I'll be back. And then he goes and takes a car and then rams it through like the divider at the police station.
Crazy. I'm with you. I always assumed it had a much like deeper meaning.
Right. It's just a throwaway line that somehow has, I guess because that's the first hint we get that he's actually having a little bit of fun as a Terminator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
So-
I have to say, your retelling of these movies makes me want to see them.
I think you might actually enjoy this. If you can handle a little violence. Yeah.
What's a little violence on a Thursday, Friday?
Well, the thing is that it reminds you, hey, by the way, this is a movie. And not to take this too seriously, is the, like the stop motion stuff and the makeup being a little janky here and there. That stuff always like, this is just a movie. It you know what I mean? It's like much easier to swallow like violence when it's like, okay, this is
ridiculous,
not
over the top.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. And so I enjoyed it. I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. But then, so the next day I was like, well, I kind of need to know the rest of the story.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
That's right. So I went ahead and watched Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Arnold is back and he's naked again.
Because he had to come through the thing.
Yeah, he had to come through the thing. And I'm not giving anything away at this point, I think, for most people. But he turns out to be the good guy because in this one, he has been reprogrammed by John Connor in the future to come back to protect his child self and his mother. So now the Terminator is the Terminator, but he is protecting rather than going around trying to kill everybody.
Okay.
But they send a more advanced Terminator back at the same time to get him and get both the Connors.
Is it Dolph Lundgren?
No. No.
Okay.
But this guy is more advanced, and so he's like a liquid metal. So he's like, I got all the powers of the Terminator, except for the fact that he can just like melt, and he can copy people's looks and voices and stuff, but he can just like pass through bars and stuff because again, he can like just be liquid metal.
Yeah.
So
like Mercury.
Yeah, exactly. Which is so cool. But there is no, I just really didn't understand the rules of this guy because there's no,
love it. The rules.
There's no mechanism ever that it consists of one element. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's fair.
You could carve a statue out of Mercury in theory, right?
Sure.
But it wouldn't do anything because it's just one element.
Right.
You would need some wires and circuitry and stuff inside it to get it to do anything, right? Like a robot.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of that. He's just one thing, liquid metal. Doesn't make any sense. Even far, far into the future, they're never going to crack. You know, you can pour mayo into a cup. It's not coming to life. You know what I mean?
God.
It's
Yes.
just mayo. It can harden up and once it dries out, but it's still just mayo.
Yeah.
You got to put like ketchup in there or something to make fry sauce out of it for it to be anything other than mayo.
Right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see the holes in like the story.
Right. But okay, and then the other thing about this is it's interesting because there are 7 years between the movies, and in that 7 years, James Cameron got all the money. So this Terminator, the sequel, cost like $100 million to make, as opposed
Holy
to like
cow.
$6 million. Yeah. So the special effects are way, way better, including some of the earliest CG. So that's all cool. But at the same time, you kind of miss the jankiness a little bit of the first one. But yeah, I found it entertaining, but I
So
still,
thus began James Cameron's ego.
yeah, I guess so.
Because like he did Titanic and he
Yes.
did
Yeah.
Avatar and all these
Right.
like huge movies.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is a good weekend watch. If you can handle some violence, because there is plenty of that. But it's a fair warning on that. And there's a teeny tiny bit of nudity in the first one, but nothing that's too graphic or whatever. So I think,
Well,
yeah, a pretty entertaining double feature.
and I have to say, it looks like it's a genetic thing because Patrick Schwarzenegger is in season 3 of White Lotus, and apparently he did full frontal nudity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the scandal there. I mean, I don't know if it's actual scandal, but yeah, apparently it's a genetic thing, showing off your bits.
Right. Well, in Schwarzenegger's case, the Schwarzenegger Senior, he was only really showing off his buns. You really have to like freeze frame and zoom in if you want to see the rest, because otherwise it's all shadowed. Yeah, a fun double feature. I think I'd like to hear your thoughts on it if you do watch it. But yeah, it was interesting. And the first one has Bill Paxton in it in a cameo.
I love me some Bill Paxton.
Yeah. It was he was playing a punker
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
in it, which was fun. It's nice to have that off my list now because there was plenty of stuff in there, like Simpsons jokes and stuff, that I was like, oh, that's where they got that from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, and I've never watched The Simpsons.
But at the same time, I also think that The Simpsons was influencing Terminator 2 because there's parts in there where he's like, say, what does he say? He says, you can say no problemo to, Schwarzenegger. So Schwarzenegger's like, no problemo. You know what I mean? It's like
Which is
that's
a Simpsons thing.
Yeah, that's a Bart Simpsons thing. Yeah. So I think they were in conversation there in the culture.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So clearly I have a to-do list. So Vera and I are going to have to watch Terminator. What streaming platform is it on?
Both of them were on Canopy. And
Oh yeah, you mentioned Canopy.
yeah, I think at least the second one was on Hoopla. And I think that both movies are readily available for rent on a whole bunch of different platforms. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to do this. I tried to find some James Bond movies, but you're right. There is nothing free at the moment on any of the platforms.
yeah, kind of a bummer, but I'm like, okay, I can put that on hold for a little bit here while I watch some Terminator. Did you happen to cross anything off your cultural blind spot list?
Well, after going on my documentary foray, I also watched a show, and I haven't finished it yet, called No Good Deed with Ray Romano, Lisa Kudrow, Dennis Miller. And I'm in the middle of watching that, and that has been surprisingly good. So it's not really a cultural blind spot, because like it's not something that has long been in popular culture.
Right.
But it is something that people have talked about. And so at night, while I've got no chores to do and nothing to do except snuggle with Vera, I'm like, well, might as well watch some TV. So I learned all about Gabby Petito, John Benet Ramsey, David Beckham, and Posh Spice, and No Good Deeds.
All right. Well, I think offline we're going to have a convo of what actually fits into the topic of cultural blind spots, and maybe brainstorm on ones that we could cross off together.
Yeah, 100%. Because none of these are cultural blind spots. These are pop culture moments.
Yep.
So, all right, we should take a break here.
Yes, and we'll come right back and tackle today's topic.
I love it. All right.
Hey, I'm Stacey Heller. I'm one of your podcast pals, along with Eric Ryder from Don't Ask Me to Talk. Are you liking what you're listening to? Awesome. We would love if you would follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram as Don't Ask Me to Talk. We also are wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can follow us, subscribe, like, rate, whatever it is that you do. You can also email us. That's asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And if you'd like, text or leave us a voicemail at 475-999-2726. Basically, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm Eric Ryder, one of your podcast pals.
I am Stacey Heller. I am the Convo Kid. Pow pow. I don't know, it sounds like a cowboy name.
I think it only works if we both acknowledge that we're either podcast pals or Convo Kids. It can't be I'm a Convo Kid and you're a podcast pal, or vice versa. I think that.
Can I be both? Maybe identify as both, Eric.
I'm sorry. I'm taking my frustration with customer service and salespeople out on you, Stacey, which I do not mean to do.
I cannot even right now, Eric.
I know. I know.
Okay.
So this is the part of the show where we talk about our topic, and for
the
people,
actual topic.
Yeah, people, and we squeeze it in the last 10 minutes of the show here. And for people joining us for the first time, where have you been? No, thank you for joining us.
Oh, right.
And the way this works is each week we spin a wheel with about, 15 topics on it, I would say.
It varies.
Yeah, and it randomly selects a topic for the next week's show. So stay tuned. If you don't like this topic, we'll have a whole new one for next week.
Totally.
But it's so random, the topics that get selected. But there is a method to this madness, because somebody is responsible for putting these topics on the wheel, and that person is you, Stacey. So, as I like to do at the beginning of this segment each week, I like to pick your brain a little bit and see what inspired the inclusion of this topic. And this week's topic is movies we'd like to see for the first time again. Yeah, you put it on the board. So what was the thinking?
So I was talking to somebody. Maybe it was inspired by a conversation with you, actually, with all of these movies.
What?
And it was, I was like, to be able to, I think it was maybe inspired by you talking about like kids movies that you haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, to be able to go back and watch, fill in the blank movie for the first time and enjoy it. And I just thought, like once you've seen it, it takes away either the surprise or the delight or, whatever it is, or it may be something that like you saw at the wrong time. Like I
Mhm.
saw Kramer versus Kramer when it came out. I think that movie came out like there's a trend on social media right now
Wait,
that is like
isn't this like a law drama or something like that?
a what?
Like a law drama?
Oh, yeah, it's a divorce movie. It's with
Right.
Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep. And
Okay, but this it came out like in the 70s, so you're like a 10-year-old watching Kramer versus Kramer.
so this is my point. So I have many points going on. So hold on for this
1979,
ride.
yeah.
So there's a trend happening on social media right now that's like, hey, look up what movie was number 1 at the time of your 10th birthday, and that's how your year is gonna go. So I did it, and it was Kramer versus Kramer. And I'm like, am I getting divorced? Like, am I the child of divorce? Like my parents? Like, no. So anyway, but that made me think about that movie. And I'm like, that was probably a great movie. But as a 10-year-old, my parents clearly couldn't get a babysitter and took me to it. And it was horrible. So it's also like, what movie maybe did you see at the wrong time that you didn't appreciate when you saw it and you wish you could see it again? So there's a whole bunch of reasons why you might want to see a movie for the first time again.
I feel like we both need to do this because it's interesting to find out. So yours was Kramer versus Kramer was for your.
Well, it's an example. Like another one is like Do the Right Thing came out when I was a teenager, and that was super powerful. And I happened to be dating a man of color at the time, so it was all the more powerful. But like, I'd love to see that for the first time and be aware of like the bigger picture and what was going on. Or like, for instance, like I am a big fan of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies. And like, I remember watching those movies and like just how comforting in a weird way it was. And like the feeling of seeing it for the first time. Like my favorite Fred Astaire movie is Royal Wedding. And that's famously the movie where he's dancing around the room and he dances on the ceiling. In fact, I think it was Lionel Richie like stole the idea.
What a feeling, we're dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, Fred Astaire thought of that first. And just like that's
Getting
one where it was like
asbestos in our toes.
it feels so good. Like that's one where it was like the delight of it, right? Or like the wrong time of something, or the surprise, like Sixth Sense, right?
Right.
Where it's like
the twist.
Right. So those are some of the ones that I'm like, ooh, we talked about Conclave, right? And how there's kind of that twist.
And by the way,
yes.
I feel like I was a little bit flippant last week talking about Conclave because the Pope actually is in poor health at the moment. And I was just joking that that's how you get a conclave. But I do want to say that, of course, we wish the Pope well and hope that he is on the mend. And just before we started recording, there was a news broadcast that I heard that said that he is improving quite a bit. So
yes, he is.
Yes. So that I just wanted to clarify, not wishing any ill will towards the Pope.
Yeah, I think this is where my belief in God is that, like, yeah, God's like, you know what, you're good, Eric. Like, I gave people a sense of humor. Like, we good. So I wouldn't worry about it.
I wasn't worried about God sending me an angry email.
Oh, right. It's all the other people that think they're God.
That's right. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was good news. And since I just heard that, I wanted to spell that out. And also since it was movie related.
Yeah. So that's kind of my inspo. Like, it's just those movies, as I said, that either you saw them and it was the wrong time and so you didn't appreciate it, or it was like a surprise, or it was just a delight.
All right.
So those are a couple of mine. I'm sure you did not do any reflecting or homework in advance of this. So I'm sure your mind is just scrambling right now.
You know me all too well. But I will say that since you mentioned the what was the number one movie when you were 10 years old, you said, right?
Yep.
And so this is appropriate, I think, because I looked it up. And for me, number one was Never Say Never Again, which was a James Bond movie.
Wow.
But famously, this was a non-canon James Bond movie where they paid Sean Connery to come back and basically remake Thunderball. And so that's why it's called Never Say Never Again, because he had long hung up the spurs, long hung up the shaken not stirred martinis.
His cufflinks.
And he came back as an old man to play the role of James Bond once again in Never Say Never Again. And because of I've been talking about erasing James Bond from my cultural blind spot by watching those movies, I thought that's very fitting and very funny. Number two, we mentioned this on the show last week, The Big Chill.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one where it's like you go back and, watch it and it's like it's something that like because you've seen it, you're like
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good.
That was one where the soundtrack bizarrely like dominated everything, it seemed like, for a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That
like
soundtrack
all these old
good.
songs were just suddenly back in the zeitgeist, especially Heard It Through the Grapevine. Yeah. It was just like just really strange that like suddenly all these songs from the 60s were just like huge in the 80s.
Yeah.
Again, because of one movie, and not even like a blockbuster style movie, but like a family drama, like a group of friends getting together kind of thing.
For a funeral.
Yeah, for a funeral. Yeah. And it obviously was a blockbuster in the fact that it was a huge hit, but not really any special effects or anything like that would make you think this is, a summer blockbuster. It was just like back then, a drama with some good actors arguing could do well.
Yeah, it was it had quite the cast too. Glenn Close, Kevin Kline, William Hurt, a young Jeff Goldblum, Meg Tilly, Meg Tilly or Jennifer Tilly?
Probably Meg Tilly. I don't think Jennifer Tilly had a career in 1983.
Yeah, so Meg Tilly. Yeah, like it was quite the cast, but that's one that I could watch that again for the first time. I actually caught that recently in the past few months, one night late, and I ended up watching it and I was like, this is some crazy stuff. And again, like it's one of these movies where you're like, oh, I should watch that when I'm at a different point in my life.
Yeah. All right. So that's not why you called the question of what was number one when I was 10 years old. But I just thought it was interesting since it helped inspire the topic. And you said yours was Kramer versus Kramer, right?
Well, that's the one that was when I was 10.
Yeah.
The number one movie.
Right.
That's not something I wish I could see for the first time again.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
It was traumatizing the first time.
Right.
Like Grosse Pointe Blank, that's a movie that I'm like, I loved that. Talk about a soundtrack, and it ended up being really fun, and I was surprised by how much I liked it. And so a movie like that, to get to see it for the first time again and just be surprised and have such a good time watching it.
I feel like my memory is so faint of that if I watched it again, it would be like 90% watching it for the first time.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works.
So, yeah. I mean, aren't there a lot of movies like that for you?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a ton of them for me where it's like, I'm watching this and I'm going, this seems familiar. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I did watch this.
Uh-huh.
It takes a little while sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And it's hard. Like, I was trying to go back and like, there's just so many movies, and you and I have talked about this, like, if you don't have kids, then you've missed a whole bunch of kid movies, and there's some that are really good. But then because I had kids, I missed out on a whole bunch of like adult movies because like, babysitters, and there's a lot of movies out there, but there's There's definitely some that I think the most compelling thing is just like the joy or the humor that comes. I think that's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
To watch a movie for the first time again and just be like, I keep using the word, but I really feel delighted by something, you know?
Right. Oh, and one other thing that is real interesting looking this up on the 10 years, what movie was number one when it's 10 years old. Just the release dates on the movies. So Never Say Never Again, number one, released October 7th. So it's been over a month.
Yep.
And it's still the number one movie. Same thing, Big Chill, September 30th. Like back then, like movies could just live in the theater for months and months and months. That's so wild now, because now it's like 2 weeks. If you missed it, you got to wait for streaming.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that with Kramer versus Kramer, and you said like, oh, 1979. Well, on my 10th birthday, because I looked up number one movie March 1970, because remember, March is my birthday month.
Yeah,
and it was still Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh wow, that lived for a long time in the theaters.
Yeah. Well, Divorce was big, and it was Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman.
Right. It is interesting that anybody had kids after the 70s, because I swear like every horror movie was all about how your child was actually the spawn of Satan.
Oh my God, right?
Remember all those? Like The Bad Seed, The Omen, The Visitor, like so many of them. It's like just all these like psychotic children.
Yeah. Well, and Poltergeist, well, that was 80s, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I don't think the Poltergeist kids were causing anybody harm. It was the Poltergeists.
Well, yeah, but like those darn kids.
Or is it
like
Poltergeist? I'm not sure what the plural.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. It was Poltergeist. All right. So anyway, to answer your question finally here, I feel like for me, it would be really cool to see Star Wars for the first time. But that comes with a huge disclaimer in that, I don't feel like I could have gotten this far in life without like knowing like all about Star Wars, even if I had never sat down and watched it, just because it's such a huge cultural phenomenon and touchstone.
Right.
And also all those sequels I would have had to avoid. And yeah, just so much of it. And then the other thing is, if I were to sit down and watch for the first time, okay, I've avoided somehow. I've been in an isolation chamber for 40 years. Would I hit on the special edition versions that have been retouched and had all these dumb stuff added to it that should never have been added to it by George Lucas? Then I would think, oh, this movie's not that great. What's all the hype about?
Right.
But if I somehow was able to get an original copy or download the despecialized versions, which folks out there have made, and watched it for the first time with no knowledge of it, I feel like that first Star Wars could be a mind-blowing thing, because I've watched it several times, since I was a kid, and those special effects still hold up so well. It still looks fantastic. The story's still great. The acting's still good. Star Wars.
That's a good answer. Way to pull it out at the last minute. Wow.
Thanks.
That was good. That was very good. I'm impressed. I'm almost a little annoyed, actually.
Well, that's the thing. It is, I mean, it's tough when a movie is such a big part of culture, which has inspired, like I said, this whole, hey, my cultural blind spots, it's so funny when you like see all these things that have been referenced, like finally, like, oh, that's the source,
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be back, turns out.
Right. I'll be back. Disappointing, but now I know what it's from, at least,
Now I know too, by association, although I am inspired to watch Terminator or T2.
Try and watch them both.
All right.
I think you'll have fun.
All right. Vera and I have nothing to do. All right. Well, we're probably out of time.
We are indeed, but we need to pick next week's topic.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what we come up with.
dress codes.
Oh.
So are you saying we need to instigate a dress code for the podcast?
Yes, smart casual.
Okay. So you've got a problem with my cutoff short shorts
I mean,
and my mesh vest that I'm typically wearing when I come in to do the show.
yes, I am. And your combat boots. Like
Right.
it just doesn't look right.
Well, I don't know. I feel comfortable.
Okay, well the blue body paint is a little bit much.
Possibly. It does tend to get on the equipment, which is bad.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, dress codes. Have you ever had to use one or adhere to one? What do we think of them? Do they create equity or,
School uniforms? Is that in that combo too?
Mostly I'm thinking about dress codes with school. But also I'd be curious to think, when you're a grown-up who is working a job, do you think that there should be a dress code? Like, does somebody get to tell you what's appropriate?
Yeah. Yes and yes. But we can get into that next week for sure.
I love it. Let's do it. All right.
Awesome.
Well, in the meantime, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely, we do. And of course, email us at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. What's the number if they want to text us?
Well, thank you for asking. It is 475-999-2726.
And of course, you can leave a voicemail that way as well.
Yeah, sing happy birthday to me.
Hey, that's a good idea.
I'm going to be bothering everybody all month about this.
And next week, you will be back here in the Seattle area. So it'll be great. We won't have this huge divide that we've got right now. But you'll be back and fully energized from all those crystals that you'll be smuggling back in your carry-on. So I'm looking forward to having you back in our presence again.
Excellent. I will see you next week in studio.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.